Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update.
Yeah, try to get into that kind of a profession. If you don't get, if you go by, what others are doing, what is more lucrative, where I can make more money, or where I can, do this, do that, uh, then there will always be a conflict within yourself.
The world today revolves around marketing. Be it your favorite TV ad or your go to social media influencer, every single one of them is part of the marketing metric. But how important does it become for the present generation to know the concepts of marketing thoroughly and what can experience bring to the table? To talk about it more, we have Professor Pradeep Majumdar, who has worked extensively in the field of marketing and has been teaching at IIT Nagpur for over a decade now. Thank you very much, Professor Majumdar, for joining us today. And I'm really looking forward to get some very interesting marketing insights from you.
Thanks to you too for having me over here in this forum.
Professor Majumdar, without further ado, let's dive into the specialization that you have. Tell me a little bit about how do you see this? How do you combine spirituality with marketing?
I look at it this way that spirituality is something by which I'm looking inside, from outside to inside, instead
Right.
of looking from inside to outside. Okay. I realize that I am becoming better and better in my behavior, in my attitude, the way I look at the world, my perspectives on the world. On the other side, marketing has to do with, the often understood definition of marketing is that you're trying to satisfy the needs of people. And you're trying to satisfy those needs at a profit. You want to earn a certain amount of profit.
Right.
If you expand that, if I have to understand the needs of people, I have to understand people at first. And the outset, I have to understand people. When I got deeper and deeper into spirituality, I realized that it is helping me in marketing. It happened like that.
Looking back, when you see your days at IIM Bangalore, were you of the same opinion that you are now, or do you think that things have evolved, things have changed?
If you have to read, write, understand English, you have to know ABCD. Nobody has been able to do away with ABCD. Okay, so the fundamentals of marketing will always remain the same. The fundamental is that I have to understand people, as I told you, if I have to understand people, thereby I can satisfy their needs. So that remains the same. The speed of execution has changed. The channels of satisfying those needs have changed. Marketing also creates needs.
Right.
Look at the mobile phones.
Right.
Yeah, from landlines to mobile phones. That's a new type of a need that has been created by the marketeers, by science. The cameras, inside the mobile phone. People never envisaged all those kinds of developments, but science and marketing together have created those things.
Absolutely.
Okay, so in that respect, and the speed at which it is getting executed, the speed at which marketing is giving convenience to the people, like the e-commerce, doorstep delivery. So those things have changed. Okay, fundamentals have not changed.
There's a fine line between trying to create that demand, trying to create that want, and then crossing it and going in the other side of the morality, going in the other side of the ethics. What is your take on that? And for future managers, how important is that to keep in mind while they are treading this path?
Yeah, if you don't have morality, if ethics is not on your side, if honesty is not on your side, then nothing is sustainable. If truth is not on your side, you cannot sustain that. If you have to sustain anything, you have to take. The truth is a big power. Honesty
Right.
is a big power, strong. But marketing does not mean, superficial talks, somehow convince. That is deception. And you're cheating people. It's
Right.
going against laws of marketing, laws of the nature.
The pandemic has changed a lot of things, as we were mentioning about the changes that has come up, like you were talking about speed,
Mhm.
talking about velocity at which things are changing right now. The pandemic
Mhm.
has maybe accelerated that to tenfold or hundredfold. You and I
Mhm.
talking over the Zoom is a testament to the fact that things have changed rapidly. For
Mhm.
teachers like you, for faculty members like you, how difficult was it to, do this shift? How difficult was it to come up with this shift to make sure that students are not at the receiving end of this and they get the best out of, the situation that is at hand?
The thing is, for a person, which one to emphasize more on? That depends on my mental setup. Do I take the positives, yeah, and accentuate that? Or do I take the negatives and keep on groaning all the time? No, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, I cannot do it. I did face difficulties. Sometimes, I am unable to show my screen. Sometimes I'm unable to put up my, slides. What I did is I asked my students. They understand, they see my gray hair, they know that, okay, what age I belong to. So they will help you. Students are
Right.
very, very helpful, cooperative. So when you ask for their help, when and in a way, that also gets them interested in the lecture. See, in a physical classroom, what happens is that part of the time goes in, what should I say, policing students. They're not on WhatsApp, they're not on Facebook, they're not talking, they don't want to go to the washroom and things like that. Here, you have uninterrupted flow of your lecture.
Mm-hmm.
You can get into a flow, you can concentrate. You can keep looking at the chat box. You can ask them when you have, stopped at a certain, you covered a topic, stop. You can ask a question to the students. But from the student side, if you look at it, I cannot look at it only from my side. They experience, that's a human nature. Yeah. They are habituated. Man is a slave of habits. They're habituated to see the professor in front of them, the teacher in front of them, the friends in front of them. Although, they are very tech savvy, but they want physical presence of the near and dear ones.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you're imparting that to your students also. You have been teaching at this institute for the last 13 years. What are the kind of methodologies that you use to make the class interesting?
See, in a business school, they are going to get out into the world. It's a very competitive world. It's by and large, it's a very tough world. If you're not made up for it, let's not get into it. So if I have a feel of what is there outside, not only textbooks, not only hearing, I want to give them a feel of what is happening outside.
Right.
So what I do is, when I do, if I have to do any case, I do a video-based case, so they can feel what is the protagonist experiencing. Small cases, because the span of attention is low these days. This is just the opposite of the monks today, what we are seeing. Yeah, on one end of the spectrum, you have the monks. On the other end of the spectrum, you have the millennials, as far as concentration is concerned. So if you give them small clips of videos, sometimes it could be from the movies, yeah, like I did something with Godfather also, then they really feel that what is happening. And then from there, maybe I'm deriving a concept, or maybe I'm asking them questions, to get deeper, and so that they can start thinking, feeling, visualizing that character.
You said that, from monks to millennials, the one thing that is totally different between the two is the attention span. And that's where the problem lies. One thing that comes from that is you definitely need to be a patient listener in order to be a successful marketer of the future. What are the other traits that you think are the must-haves for students who are taking marketing seriously or want to make a career in that?
One thing is extremely important for any function. You have to be aware of the environment. See, some of the things in marketing or HR or things are changing. Why are they changing? Because the environment demands that. Second is, you have to be creative. You have to come out with origin, because the world is not saturated with ideas. You also have to have an analytical bent of mind. To take some decisions, you have to be very, very analytical, keeping in mind the context, the environment. Don't look only at the people within the organization. You have to look also outside the organization to take a decision. Third is what you said, listening. But also I have to listen quite a lot, because then only will I be able to analyze. If I half-heartedly am listening, then I will not, because then my information is there, but I have not absorbed them.
Professor Majumdar, we all know that IMT is known for marketing. Whenever the name comes in, the kind of opportunities that IMT provides to its students, or the kind of pedagogy that it follows for students to, tread on that path. You have been part of IMT Nagpur for the long 13 years now. What do you think are some of the innate qualities of the institute that puts it in such a position?
There's a lot of freedom in this institute. For all the stakeholders, be it faculty, students, staff, everybody has got a lot of freedom. And then we constantly keep on discussing about our course curriculum, the syllabus, the course outlines. We are supposed to change, our course outlines, not so much on the fundamentals, the basic courses, but basic courses more or less remain the same, maybe a little bit of addition. But on the electives that we have, the specialization electives, there we keep on changing a lot. Most of our faculty members have industry experiences. So we bring in that industry experience into the classroom. If you look at our marketing courses, we also have, some courses which are based on technology, like digital marketing, social media analytics. Okay. We also have marketing analytics. We have advanced marketing research, pricing strategy, which you'll not find in many institutes. CRM also you may not find in some of the institutes. And we are constantly updating that. And then we have a very good faculty members, Maybe that's why they think that, okay, this is a good marketing institute, institute
Right.
good in marketing.
Professor Majumdar, my last question to you would be for students who maybe are watching this, who are not very sure about the kind of domain that they like, about the kind of roles that they would get after they do their, after they do their 2-year MBA program. That is, a lot of people, we get these queries. They're in their class 12th, they're in their first year of undergraduation, and they're already thinking about an MBA. So for them, who don't know and have not decided as to what to do next in their lives, what is your message to them?
I believe that every man is made for something. There's a purpose for every man. That is why you're on earth. So the thing is, I would suggest, and every man or a woman is born with a nature. It's there in him. Sometimes it changes because of circumstances. So whatever nature is there within you, try to get into that kind of a profession. If you go by, what others are doing, what is more lucrative, where I can make more money, or where I can, do this, do that, then there will always be a conflict within yourself. That's why I like these millennials who want to do a startup.
I completely agree with you on this point. Thank you very much again for your time, and I really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Thank you, Professor Majumdar.